watch 4K YouTube videos like this stream, which you could be watching on YouTube right now, because
nice
PGL
transition.
are pushing. I'm trying. I try, Tom. At moments, I have my small little moments of brilliance, but we do have this stream. You can watch it on Twitch, obviously. You can also watch it on 4K on YouTube. If you've got a 4K monitor or 4K TV, so check it out because it's brilliant, Tom. I love it.
Beautiful.
It is
Just
beautiful.
don't watch it when my face is on stream,
Our
because I
face is
don't
on,
want
yeah.
people seeing my face in 4K. Like, that sounds like a terrifying prospect. It's like when I don't know if you've ever used like the HD like BBC channels, like on like a Skybox or something.
Oh yeah,
Like if you go on them, like you kind of realize how ugly some of the presenters actually are. Like you get there and you go, wow, yeah, I don't want to watch this in 4K, because it's always the weirdest shows. Like, it's like watching football in 4K. You're kind of like, yay, the grass is nicer. It's like it's completely pointless. Or just like the news. The news was always the funny one for me, because it's like you're just looking at a dude in a studio in like hyper HD, and you're like, great, now I can see every single pore within your face. Like, it's terrifying. So
it's worse. It's worse in real life if you think about it. But in Counter-Strike, the good thing is you're watching in 4K. You're not watching real people. You're watching the skins of those guns. You can see every beautiful little pixels on this M4A4 Howls or that butterfly knife.
Ugh.
Did I tell you about a butterfly knife recently?
How much?
Like a real life butterfly knife.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, no, I saw on your stories. And I made a comment, didn't I? And
yes,
the comment you
yes,
can't repeat.
It was it cost me $5, Tom, which is a little cheaper than the one in game. But anyway, fast hit coming in towards the lower bomb side. It is going to be Soju holding the line. Ricky making his way inside the control room. It's going to be a very easy bomb plan. My problem here is the post plans. As Jara's going to find Zeph, that's going to make things life a little bit more easier. And this retake, it's looking very separated. And Vexet's alone. The other three cities haven't gathered up together yet. They have a kid to work with, but now Vexet, he needs to win this duel, and that's a beautiful kill. He's going to find two. Ricky replies back of finding Offnu. Now it's a 3v2.
Problem is the time's already ticking. It's down to that 15-second marker, and they've got someone on the defuse, or they're actually just going to stick it. Surely this isn't going to happen again. Oh, just about bomb defused. They get it. That is rough. That's now twice we've seen them defuse right in front of the faces of Order. Balls of Steel once again, and Chiefs, they're up in the lead.
At that point, you just kind of like peak, right? Like you look at the time, you're like, all right. Oh, Order. But yeah, credit to Excite. I mean, the lad is young, but he's got balls of steel. 1-0. I still don't
want to give credit to Soju. Soju just takes the bullet to the face. Like, he is it's like protecting the president, just diving in front of all of those shots.
Oh,
that's a nice nade. Look at the buy though. This makes me very upset. They all have rifles, Blair.
Tom,
all of them.
The game. Let's do the game. Let's play the game of who won the pistol round. Ooh, that's a nice hold. That's a very nice hold from Offnu and Soju.
3 upgrades. Although they only actually managed to retrieve Galil, so it's not really that much, but still, that's from SMGs. If anything, this has now just set Chiefs up nicely, because that's sort of the bonus round now, I guess you could say, is if you manage to win your second round against their 4 spy, the bonus isn't so much that you make a load of cash. The bonus is you get to take the rifles that they bought instead. So, yeah, that works out wonderfully for the Chiefs. They've got off to a flying start, build up some money, 3 rifles, and now we're seeing Order come in with just some lone pistols.
And some grenades. And they find Offnu. That's not bad at all. I deal some damage here. Zeph, aware of the possibility there could be a T right above the roof of Mini. And, okay. Maybe Soju spotted out Jara's gun there. As Zeph striking on Alistair and Valiant should be an easy mop up here. Just the Glocks remaining in the hands of Still and Ricky, the veterans of this side. But yeah, for Chiefs, off the back of a Hail Mary defuse, and they've managed to convert the next 2 rounds pretty convincingly as well. So this is a pretty good start for a team who traditionally have struggled on Nuke.
Yeah, I like the fact that this is clearly a map that they put a lot of work into, but we'll have to wait until we see the proper buy rounds and maybe a few extra strategies thrown in by the side of Order. Of course, this round is one, it's a nothing round. The fact they've got a kill is probably more than they would have expected. Zeph, off to a good start once again. Oh, dear. APOC is not going to be happy with that, and oh, dear Lord, if you still have got a second one, I think I would have been out already.
That shouldn't have happened, honestly. Well, small little victories. That's what Order are going for in that round. And now comes the guns. No AWP for Alistair yet. He could have gone for it, but yeah, it's better. You know, it's not worth just going for a glass cannon, especially against the M4s, the Galils. You want to have everything to work with. And it's going to be 5 AKs. Opt out for Mr. APOC Dud. Gonna be just floating around towards the outer yard. He's got his teammate, that is Zeph, playing from secret. Backside on top of hut. A pretty default setup, you know. You got 2 turrets upper, 2 outside, and they have Soju with the M4. And Soju had a very quiet game on Mirage. Hopefully, this time around it's going to be a little bit more different. You know, it's going to be holding ramp, a crucial part of the map. He's going to be playing it all by his lonesome.
Yeah, I think that's always the rough thing for him, is he's put in those horrible roles, like the site anchor roles. Like it's always going to be rough for you to basically get good statistics, because you almost need to be multi-fragging different players if that's ever going to happen. Like you talk about like the B site of Train. Like if your B site player has like 20-30 kills, you've won. Like that's it. That means they didn't get onto B. Like other than that, most of the time you're trying to delay and you're trying to get yourself a pick and buy time for rotation. So that's the same with him on the ramp here. Good start though for Zeph once again. As said, like he had a very good first map. Probably one of the players a bit hard done by when it comes to the loss. Molotov going to force him back, but now they are going to start putting the pressure on towards this round. They're quite late in the round though, 30 seconds, and they've gained basically nothing. They don't expect Soju to be here, and what, those 3 kills have just come in with all of the players blind. I don't know how that's managed to happen. I've not seen that before. And now Jaira, well, his clutch is about the same amount of time. 5 seconds a kill, I think, Blair, for him to clean this one up. He's not going to expect Zeph to be there. And Chiefs, this is a fantastic start. They're looking great.
They're looking very, very good. And yeah, they've lost a couple of players here and there, but it's going to be fine 4-0 up, considering that pistol run should, in all probability, go on the way of Order. And again, Zeph, great opening on the silo. This is just great work for me. But he was completely blinded. He times the shot to perfection. Soju as well, just doing great work holding the line. And that's the thing with holding the ramp position. Like you mentioned, like you touched upon, it's not just about getting the kills, it's about survivability. And that's something I've noticed. The younger players who play towards ramp, they struggle with that. They tend to, more inexperienced players, right? They tend to go for the highlight rounds. They go with re-peeking, getting a couple of kills. And even if you get a kill, maybe even 2 kills, just giving up ramp, especially when you're playing a forward position, it is so risky. And this is risky from Opry. They're going to come jumping straight on in, and he's going to just find 1 kill, gets taken down. That's an M4 retrieved in the hands of Jaira. And bear in mind, 3 of the players, they have kits to work with. Soju prevents the bomb from getting planted, but Jaira with a quick trade, Vexite strikes as well. Now Jaira alone, and he can't do much here. It's all in the hands of Astillo. He's got a camera. He's going to have an M4 as well, so this is almost winnable, but Zeph with the wide, weird off angle ensures that Order get up to nothing else. But 3 kills on a light investment. They're keeping the money very honest for Chiefs.
Yeah, they need that break round though, and even still, like with what they've managed to achieve so far, there's still a couple of players with some extra money available. But if they never win a round, then it doesn't really matter too much. Of course, this is the same situation we saw for Chiefs in the last map, where they were 5-0 down, and this is where the match truly began. So we've got that up for Alistair, who's yet to have anywhere near the impact we saw of the previous map. Valiance and Ustillo as well, all with respectively 1 and 2 kills. So there's definitely more to come from this Order roster, but it does need to start soon, Blair. Otherwise, this could very easily get out of control.
Is this a classic Australian Counter-Strike tradition of losing your map pick and winning on your opponents? Because I've seen it too many times. It's ludicrous how much it happens, especially the higher tiers of AUCS. It could happen again. Never know. 5-0.
I think you coming from Asian Counter-Strike as well, I think you've probably just accepted the fact that anything is possible nowadays.
Oh yeah,
except beating Tyloo.
Tyloo did lose to a team recently, Lin Vision.
I don't believe you.
Fair.
If you search that up while being in China, that doesn't exist.
Jesus Christ. Just blocks it out. It's like, Tyloo losing? No.
No. Never happened.
Never happened. Well, right now, it's a bit of a standoff. Minute and 15 seconds on the clock, and a bit of damage being dealt on both sides. Afternoon Zeph, sub 50 HP. Is still 0-19, barely alive, limping along. But Order slow things down again. I'd like to see Order go for a little bit more of a fast-paced play. Like, it's their map thing. I'm sure they have a number of like set strats lined up, especially for maybe an upper take, perhaps, like a fast upper split, something. And they've just been going about it very, very slowly. Which I'm not saying it's wrong, but it's been what they've been doing time and time again. So a little bit of a switch up might potentially work in their favor. As Gyro finds Offnu, but Zeph with a quick reply, but Alistair ensures that the man advantage will be maintained by Order. Bomb spotted out, and a problem right now for Order is 25 seconds on the clock, Tom.
They're going to go pressuring into this A side. There's a decent crossfire here. They've got to check what Jim would call Mustang, and they haven't done so. What a hold from the side of Chiefs. They made that look easy with a man disadvantage. And they're going to take a 6-0 start. Now, this is a Seble, but if Order didn't get on the board then, I'm now starting to worry for them. 6-0 down. Sure, this is Nuke. Sure, you can put up big numbers on the CT side, but it's not what we expect from a team on their map choice, and it definitely isn't as CT-sided as it used to be.
Oh yeah, 100%. This is very, very different from what we've expected, to be very honest. And honestly, like, I feel like for Chiefs, their CD side has been... It wasn't bad with Mirage, honestly. I don't feel it was bad. Just the individual brilliance. And now Order, that's a little bit better. But again, one by one, they go in. You know, you flash on in. It'd be best of two if you just pounced instead of one by one, just going for these duels and having to take a battle in two fronts. Alistair walks in through the smoke, often is ready for it. And again, they're going to fall. This time it's a little bit faster approach. But again, just going for these individual duels. Yes, you're being flashed in, but I'd rather them kind of like pounce on like a pack. Because look at the number of CTs waiting. You have two waiting towards the Hell CT spawn area. You have one towards Mini. And now Jarrison spotted out. Everyone's going to pounce on his position. The nade and the AK combo. Nothing he can do. And this is starting to look not a little, but quite worrying for Order. Look at the money for Chiefs. They're looking pretty solid right now.
The question I've got to ask, but so I agree. I like the fact that it's a faster round, but what was the plan? Like this round was ridiculously disjointed. It seemed like everybody was reading from a different hymn sheet. Like they were all trying to sing different songs all at once, because you had one man try and push Garage, another man try and push Ramp, then one ran down Secret, then another one peeked towards Mini. Like, you're all fighting different battles. Like that there was no synergy in that whatsoever, other than the fact that some of the players were in a relative area. That they never actually did anything at the same time in the same place. That for me was an atrocious round. Like I don't know what we've just witnessed. That looked almost like desperation. Like, okay, nothing's worked. Let's just pure YOLO out in yard. And I don't know, that has put me right off their T side if that's a genuine plan that they had.
It is yeah. I don't think I can. It's just, I think desperation is the right word to use there, Tom. At the same time, like, it's not too late. It's just 6-0, fine. Like, Chiefs have had a good start, but it's still like more than half of this first half remaining to be played. There's so many things they could have done. How many times have they tried taking this upper bomb side? I wonder, because they clearly are struggling to do this outer take. Sure, they might get control of Secret,
What is
but this
going on?
lower bomb side is not working out. Even this one, like one by one, just going in. You've invested like a smoke and a flashbang in the hands of Valiants. You have those 3 deagles at least. Peek together, maybe something. This is just a very far cry from the order we saw on Mirage. We were talking about how they were making a few weird mistakes here and there. This is way worse. And it's a map pick.
Yeah, I think that the difference is I like the thing is I think that Mirage was definitely better, but at the same time I think they had players bailing them out of positions. I still think that it was a bit of a rough map for them, and well, now we're seeing what happens when the individuals just aren't there anymore. Like we don't have Alistair, we don't have Ustillo. Gyro's still been putting up some reasonable numbers, but that's been the only rounds that have even come close or off the back of him attempting something. We're seeing none of those stars, and there's seemingly no backup plan, and that's terrifying. As I said, they're supposed to be second, third best team in the region. It's a bit of a mashup of who's going to be there at the moment. Chiefs are making them look like they may not even be top 10.
Yeah, that is worrying, and I feel like... Alright, there we go. There's an opening going the way, but again, trades are fast and furious. Gyra wasting no time, heading straight towards lower. He's got control of his Valens, is going to find Soju, and this is much better. This is much better from Order, but again, it does come down to individuals, right? It's like they're just taking the fight individually, winning it. Vexite doesn't give a damn. He is the Prince of Dragons. He's going to walk in through the flames, gets a kill, and Apoc Dot's going to be left alone in a 1v3 for the very first time in 9 rounds. Going to be seeing Order winning a round. And that too, again, it's not about some incredible team play or some incredible strat. It's just the players popping off individually, and that might even lull them into this false insecurity, like, all right, we're hitting shots, we can win these duels, and they do the same thing again, and this time around they're gonna get shut down again. I'm still not impressed yet.
No. I think especially, like, you have to consider this round as well, I think was very aggressive from the CT side.
True. Look at this.
Like, this is the first round where we've seen them, like, try something a little bit spicy, and I don't mind it. I think that going for these sort of rounds occasionally to try and disbalance your opponent is absolutely fine, but they haven't needed to do this. So if they just fall back into the static default, they've won this round every single time. So unless, like, we're going to start to see a complete change in who's hitting their shots and maybe a few heroes starting to arise from the side of Order, we might just fall back into the exact same pattern. And I'll be honest, from what we're seeing so far in this round, Blair, we are falling into the same pattern. The same set of smokes, pushing outside, disjointed individual plays being attempted.
Let's have a look here. Still up. Oh, they are just getting picked apart. Toyed with Apoc. I'm expecting still to be up close. Zeph, though, is still going to find Valiant. And again, like, stop going outside. Stop going outside. You don't know what to do. You clearly don't know what to do.
It's not... The thing is, right? They actually just gone secret.
They could have. They just stick around the smoke.
Yeah, because that's the plan every time. It's just to lurk around outside and take fights. Ustillo's somehow bringing this one back, and I'll be a little bit upset if they do manage to win this round, because it's not been a good one. It's just that they seem to have the talent sometimes to be able to bring them back. Ustillo again. He's been quiet so far, but these are the rounds he was winning for his team. It's left on to Vexite, though. He's been good so far. He gets the first and tries to retreat, but Ustillo's going to get a quad kill. He has just padded this team. He has saved them from a position that they never should have been winning from. Props to him for the individual brilliance, but even still, Chiefs, you got to look at them and go, how did you let that one slip?
They honestly didn't deserve to win that round. I mean, again, Ustillo's a lobster. He's a monster. He's a rock. He's phenomenal, but still, like, this should not have been won by Order. And even though they won it, again, I'm going to repeat, the previous round they won, it was because, like you mentioned, Chiefs were being over aggressive, right? And they just got slaughtered. Here it was Ustillo basically winning virtually a 1v4 all on his lonesome. It's not going to happen again and again. It's just not sustainable. It's not viable. And now Ustillo, once again, they're going to take matters in his own hands. They know someone's potentially down vents, but they're going to be expecting him to be pushing up this fast. They are. Soju is lying in wait.
And the thing is, this is their round, pretty much. This is what they're basing their whole play off of. The timing's going to be everything, though. I like the Molotov is going to try and shroud the vision of these remaining players, and now Ustillo's been given extra space. They're trying their best to set him up, and I don't really blame them. He was the be-all and end-all of their previous round. Are they going to expect a player on the boost spot, though? Ustillo has not checked around that angle just yet. APOC is managing to just survive, and look at the damage that's already been done. He only gets one, though. The bomb escapes. Does he expect the second player to be around this position? Alistair trying to maybe hold off some rotations as Gyro does make his way down. Bit of an awkward fight for them, and Ustillo's going to fall. There is the bomb dropped, and Alistair, good luck, my friend. A 1 versus 4 situation, 30 seconds, and I think he's just going to have to save his AWP.
It's just been just a weird half of Counter-Strike, if you ask me. Either Order have an incredible CD side, and that's where they're going to be relying on for their the wins, for the win rate, the good win rate they have on this map, or they're just having an atrocious day on the T side, which is just it doesn't make sense to me. Like, it's almost like no one's really calling. Right? It's almost like everyone's like, all right, guys, just going to throw the outside wall smokes and just go for picks. We'll just work with picks. No, that's not going to work. Again, I mean, credit to Chiefs, though. Like, they're really shutting it down. Even the 2 rounds that they did lose, again, it came down to them maybe getting a little too over-eager in that first round, which they lost. And the second one is, of course, still just doing still things. But apart from that, they've looked flawless. It could have easily been 11-0 for Chiefs, Tom. In fact, I'm a little disappointed it isn't 11-0 because Order have done almost nothing.
It should be 11-0, if anything. With the way they've been playing, APOC, this is aggressive. The thing is, though, this trade is actually fine for the side of Order. They'll get themselves an extra rifle. They'll retrieve an AWP. Sure, they don't have much in terms of Kevlar, but Ustillo does. So he picks up the AK. Someone else grabs the AWP. If anything, they're in a better position than before. And while Ricky has been raving about his AWP talents in the past, let's see what he can do.
Ooh, the timing on that. Great repeat from Zeph as he's slaughtering everyone. Outside, and still is going to be left alone. Well, nothing he can do this time. Zeph will end him. Doesn't get up to any of his shenanigans. 10-2 for Chiefs. Okay, then. What is going on, Tom? I just don't understand. It's like, are they muted in TeamSpeak? Because this is not about them whiffing shots or like not winning duels, which they aren't anyway. Like you mentioned earlier in that one round where you're like, well, what's the game plan? I think we can ask that of this entire half. Like, what is the game plan? They haven't gone for a single hit towards the upper bomb site. Correct me if I'm wrong, but 12 rounds in, I don't think we've seen a single hit. Not once.
No,
I
think that only one was when they were pushed, which I don't count.
That's not really a hit towards upper bomb site, right? Like, not once have we seen like a Molotov take towards on top of hut. You know, you Molotov off the bomb site, smoke off towards heavens, just try and kind of like pincer it. You know, maybe send up, I don't know, like send up Ustillo because he seems to have wings on his feet. Send him straight up from Red Rock, drop towards Mini. He drops onto its Mini. His teammates come out from Squeaky, whatever. Like, not once have we seen that. And they just keep going for the same thing. And I remember, what's the name of the game? I think it was Far Cry, where it was the legend Voss who said, you know, the definition of insanity is you doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over again, thinking things will change. And that's exactly what's happening right now. They're just banging their heads against the wall, hoping at one point something's going to change. And look at APOC Dud. What a stud. What a stud. That is brilliant. I love it. They lose a man, and they immediately ensure they're able to try and get a trade.
Probably setting up smokes outside, right?
He's got to get another one, isn't he?
Oh, that is
brilliant.
A lovely shot. Wonderful stuff from him. Looking for a gap within the smokes. We haven't seen the same wall of smokes. Now, don't get me wrong. It's a lovely wall of smokes. But it has not worked at all other than you still are getting a 4K. So I am very much bemused by this being a constant within their play. Timing's going to be everything here as Ustilo is still lurking outside, and a nice shot from APOC. He has brought this round to its knees. Order left with 30 seconds to try and turn this back. The CT side has been impeccable, and he's in the right place again. This man is in the heads of his opposition. He is reading their minds, and it's going to be Vexite to steal the ace, but honestly, that round was all APOC.
Look at his face. He's just smiling. And that's the sort of face that's probably how it looks like right now. Just like grinning ear to ear. It's like, yeah, this is easy. And you're right. Like, what else would Chiefs be Order be up to apart from going for the wall of smokes? That's the thing. When you work the wall of smokes, like there are multiple ways to use it. Right? You can use it as a fake. You can use it to cover your footsteps. You can use it to, send one of your players down.
You had to go outside and push through your own smoke. Is that not the rule?
But, you know what? Sometimes it works out. Oh, this is a slaughter. I thought I'd get at least 3 there, but they get ramp control, Tom.
They found the ramp.
Oh, Lord.
Even still, it's not a good position. And again, that still seems like more of a Hail Mary play. This is a risky fight for Ofnu. It's one they don't need. You have the man advantage. Because they've been doing so well, I can see why you'd be feeling confident in these sort of positions. But I'm glad he eventually falls back and waits for the rest of the squad. Still Order in one of the better positions we've seen in this half, which is a little bit depressing. Nice shot from Gyra, though. Takes down Zeph, who's been the danger man. They now look to try and push back in. It's Ustilo as well alongside him, leaving just 2 remaining. Make that just 1. APOC third again with his AWPs. Found the first, but he doesn't have much time, and he's not going to be expecting Gyra to be in this corner. It's a 3rd round for Order, and, well, again, like, we're still looking at this and going, they have won basically 0 rounds off their default strategy. The second they try something else, it seems to work.
You can't call that a strategy. You can't call that a strategy.
It's not a strategy, but it is something different.
It is. And hey, surprise, surprise, they go towards Ram, head for just a classic take of the lower bomb side. Boom, they win a round. It just took them a while, Tom. Final round of the first half. Money still still good for Chiefs. They have the offer for APOC. 3 M4s and often with the MP9. However, losing Zeph very early, man advantage. Can they convert? Because they've used it a wall of smokes again, Tom, but this time, just going to leave it as it is, and they're going to be falling back in towards lobby. I am shocked.
Maybe this is a fake to then fake back to the wall of smokes again. Either way, it's going to be expended. Again, one of the first times we've seen a disadvantage, and it's Zeph to go down a couple of times in a row now. He's been the danger man. A superb performance. Soju, good position, but he's going to be forced off the angle as well. This is, again, looking a lot better for Order. Decent utility usage, an opening pick. Gain control of the ramp. As we sort of mentioned before, Soju was someone over the last map especially that was having a bit of a rough game. I'm surprised they haven't put more pressure on him, because he is someone that seems to, a lot of the time, crumble under the pressure of some of these matches. Vexite, however, normally seems to rise to the occasion. He spotted the push. First kill goes his way. There's still multiple enemies, and he does come up with a double. And Ofnu's in prime position. That's the bomb down. 15 seconds left for Ustilo and Alistair to try and bring this back, and they're being flanked by Soju. The perfect timing, the perfect flash. And now Alistair has to get both kills, and he won't be able to. A 12-3 domination, Blair. And I'll be honest, looking at this scoreboard, I can almost imagine that the side of Order are going to start DMing their ex, because Zeph has been smashing them into the ground.
Yeah. Yeah. That was a good one. I really don't know what to really say there. Like, okay, let's break down the previous round, right? They use up the smokes. They postured towards ramp. They have a man advantage, right? It's a 5v4. They start walking out towards hut. They have 3 flashbangs remaining. They don't even use it. They instead slowly walk out, giving just free kills, man. Free kills to the players up above. And now, here we go. Fast hit coming in, and it's going to be Stillo and Alistair. They're shutting it down. Suddenly, looking much better here on the CT side. And Stillo looking for more, and he's going to find it. Quad kill for the Lobster. That's going to be 12-4. Zorda, they win a very, very crucial round. And we did say this earlier, Tom. Maybe they're really good on the CT side. The problem here being with 3 rounds to work with, the margin for error, it's minuscule. It's tiny.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that this is still one of those maps, although it's a lot more common to see like decent amount of T-side rounds. I put it in a similar bracket to Train, where if things start going wrong on this map, it feels like it's one where it can be very, very difficult to get out of that ruckus, because a lot of the time you are gambling on some entry kills. Like there's good opportunities to find picks outside. If it ends up in 5v5 takes of a site, it can be very, very difficult if the momentum's in your opponent's favor. So I think it's fairly important that Chiefs break this, like any sort of trend that Order create very early. Otherwise, it could definitely get out of control.
Okay, good discipline. Waiting to spot out Soju before he goes for that duel. Now, it's just already been whittled down to 17 HP, playing outside. There's no need to peek. Gyro's going to find Zeph, and there we go. They're still up. Comes charging out, helping his teammate, and this should be just an easy mob with no investment at all from the T's. Didn't get the bomb down, didn't get much done to pistol round, so just about farming up the cash, padding the stats a little bit. And Offner is going to be left alone. Come on, Offner, let's not waste much time here. Coming around, Tom, and he's dead. 12-5. We saw a game yesterday, final game of the day, where it was 12-3 for a team, and it did go all the way to overtime. So I'm just saying, it has happened.
Yeah, but at the same time, I don't really want to insult Chiefs by putting them in the same bracket as Ground Zero, who look like really sort of... Was it them?
No, I think it was Mako. It was Mako who almost choked, yeah.
Yeah, I would put, like... Well, we saw actually them smash Mako on this map, so I'm not going to put them in the same bracket. Lots of damage already done. Alistair as well with the scout, but he does eventually fall. And the rest of the team... mostly without rifles. You've still got the SMGs, you've got Ustillo as well, which in a lot of rounds seemingly so far has actually been enough. Well, a lot of the rounds they've won, which is still a fairly small sample size. This is the ground being taken. This is a position I'm going to say Order managed to get to 0% of the time. I hope you enjoy that statistic, Mitch.
It is true, though. It is true. Order did not get a chance to make their way towards heavens, ever. And I'm going to call it. Chiefs going to win this. Unless something truly magical happens.
Unless Ustillo happens. That's pretty much the be-all and end-all. True, Valiant's currently on 3 kills. Definitely having a bit of a rough one. He's got a very good position in this round. Apoc has managed to survive a little bit longer. Now it's left all onto Offnu, but he's had a little bit of help from his friend beyond the grave. I'm going to take a very audacious position. I like this, though. It's one that's relatively difficult to clear. Ricky, someone again who also hasn't been having the best of games so far, and the clock is ticking. He has to get going. He does not expect the angle. Offnu, I feel like, again, like if we make comparisons in the teams, I feel like he's the sort of level head. The person that is the calm within the storm. Like, you've got these aggressive players like Zeph and Vexite who are going to basically cause havoc. Apoc, you can even put in that bracket. He's the one man who is just going to almost stay sane and just be like, okay, I'm in a clutch. Let me just get into a good angle. I'm going to chill here. And that's it. Like, no wide peaks, no jiggle peaks, just holding the angle he knows his opponent to be in.
Indeed. And a thing for Offnu in that position, like when he said he's holding a very audacious angle. At times like that in a 1v1, the most audacious angle is the best angle. It's the safest angle. Because Ricky, he was completely clueless. He was like, there's no way he's going to be holding that particular angle out in the open like that. And I will never get tired of this little camera switch. I love it.
Oh,
13-5. Yeah, it's looking grim.
Yeah, and then the problem is as well for the CT side, if they lose this round, that's pretty much it. Like, excluding a few big Deagle plays or maybe a fight back to overtime, like this is pretty much done. You can see the nade to blow out the door. They want to try and give Zeph some of these individual fights. He's been winning so many of them, although he's had a bit of a slower start to the second half, but, well, you know, we can forgive that. Funny thing is, you still owe, I believe, unless someone overtook Zeph, is actually the top fragger in the whole server, which is ludicrous considering they have 5 rounds.
And many of the rounds is him getting multi-kills, right? The quad kill in a 2v4, for example, that comes to mind. Multiple rounds. Even a pistol round, he got a 3k or a 4k, I forget. He's just been a beast, but... Alistair. Baghdad. The timing of that nade could be big from Ricky. Does a bit of damage, held up by Jyra. Ricky's going to do a smart thing. Falls all the way back down towards bottom of ramp. Soju, blocking a few bullets, just trying to... maybe catch something. This is good from Order. They've got the opening picks. It's a 5v3. There is no need to re-aggress. And Jyra with the very passive angle. There's no need to face here, but he's getting hunted down. There's no one nearby. He's done for here. Unless he gets a kill. He does, in fact, find Backside right before he gets taken down. And what?
Yeah, all right. That's a pretty tasty kill with the MP9.
At that rate. Why does it never happen to me when I'm wielding the MP9, Tom?
For the sake of our friendship, I'm not going to answer that.
Okay, fair. 13-6 though, a very solid hold coming out from Order. They're just losing one player, and that was Jyra, who did get a 2k as well before he got taken down. And now Chiefs is going to be echoing days once more. But you know what? 13-6, you're allowed to go for some Hail Mary plays. You're allowed to go for some of those whack plays where you're like, why have they done that? But that might actually catch Chiefs or Order off guard, or at the very least, you deal some economic damage. So when your guns do come out, and if you potentially win the round, that is pretty much a final nail, because Order's money is going to be crushed and it can close it out very comfortably. But it's just Glock this time around. Just a couple of P250s. Should be an easy round here for Order.
Oh, okay, Ricky. A little bit of stat padding. Ultimately, if they get a bomb down here, I would still consider that to be a successful round. Ofnu maybe trying to delay some of the players pushing through ramp. And yeah, although that looked quite nice for Ricky, like the triple spray down, this is absolutely fine. That extra money and even dropping a second player, this is starting to become a bit too costly. And thankfully, Valiance is going to clean things up. Does it with an MP9 as well. Retrieves the extra rifle. And they survive with 3. That's not too bad for Order. At the same time, that's still going to have hurt their economy a little bit. And considering that they are so far down, you kind of need to make sure you at least have a buffer of a couple of rounds.
Indeed. It's not just about... You could be like, oh, they just lost an MP9 and a FAMAS. It's not bad. It's not just that, right? It's the extra utility. It's the Kevlar and a helmet. That itself is like $2,000 worth between Jyra and Ricky. Then you have the FAMAS added in, the MP9. So that's like $6,000 worth. And like you said, you want to have this buffer. You don't want to be in a position where Chiefs gets to 14 and you have nothing to work with. You have no money in the bank. So right now, it's not looking terrible yet for Order. It's pretty bad, but it's not looking terrible yet. Ricky doesn't really have much cash to work with, apart from the rest of them have a little bit of a slight buffer. Aggression from Alistair. And giving Chiefs a taste of their own medicine. They're taking a leaf out of Apoc Dod's book.
These are the sort of plays that I think have been missing from him so far in this match. Like, he's not playing bad, but we know what this man really can do when he gets going. I think they're going to need him to here if they're going to at least bring this map back. Tries to hang around. And oh, that's a risky peek to take. I'm surprised that that's something you try and face on your own with no utility. Jyra as well. This is the second time we've seen that. Ricky baits them in, and then Jyra gets a free kill. Like that, they've fallen for that twice. This time, they will at least get the entry onto Ricky, but by this point, we've seen the rotation from Alistair, who just seems to be everywhere they want to try and challenge. And, well, he's definitely feeling confident, just making noise so that Valiant can come in from behind. Really nice round from Order, but we're starting to see maybe the cracks show a little bit for Chiefs.
Yeah, we have been very critical of Order's T-side, but right now, Chiefs, that round, that was a buy. And sure, Alistair pushes in aggressively, gets the first kill. And Apoc Dud, I'm very confused what he was thinking there. Firstly, he exposed himself. It was a missed shot from Alistair. So it's like, all right, you've been given a second chance, a second life. And then, well, he re-peeks out into Alistair's off. I mean, you got to give this guy some respect. Tech 9s, pistols. This is a round they win, Tom. This is where they're going to win. They're just going to run up, get the kill to the Tech 9s. Oh, there we go.
Oh,
well,
they get a couple. Again, they're making these Antico rounds costly. Soju will eventually get the bomb down. Something a little bit extra. Again, keeping the finances strong, but winning this round seems almost impossible. Flashbang out, and Jara is too quick to allow for anything else. It's just Soju left. Had a better game than the first, that's for sure, but this would be a huge oversight if they don't manage to win it. It'll be a simplistic defusal in the end for Ricky. So there you go, 13-9. CT side definitely looking much, much better. And while Mitch has been putting stats in our chat because he can't quite let things go, saying that this is currently the most CT-sided map within the pool. But even still, like, I think that this would be a very extreme case. He's put in that it is 45.9% T-side rounds. So if it was both teams... I thought it would be Train, and the difference is 0.4%.
I guess if you just like now whittle it down to like the top 20, top 30 teams, I'm 100% sure it's gonna be. Actually, no, sorry, I take that back. I feel like Train's more T-sided for higher tier teams, not for like lower tier. Oh, the flashback is brilliant, Alistair! You can't do them like that. That is dirty. He's looking for more, tapping away. Steeler's gonna find Apoc Dud, and Offnu's left alone. That was an absolute slaughter. Now, Offnu snuck his way through all the bodies, the corpses of his teammates, but what's he gonna do from this position? They might not expect his position, but the moment he gets a kill, it shows himself the jig is up.
Yeah, they've got the bomb. They have absolutely no reason to go down this vent. He might be able to kill off Gyra, but that is... well, considering that Jara stands still from this point onwards, and I'm not going to say that I'm much of a believer in this. He's already pushing all the way around to try and find someone in spawn. Has he been seen? Yeah, I don't think he's seen anything. No one on his team going to shout that one out for him? You know, free kill? I guess not.
I feel like, I don't see often winning this, so you can just like probably theorize a little bit more. But yeah, like I feel like Train's more T-sided when it comes to just the top 20 teams, or like, you know, high levels of Counter-Strike. When it comes to more some of the more amateurish levels, I'm talking about like, you know, like below, outside of the top 20, top 30, I feel like Train is still very heavily CD-sided, like you and I said.
Yeah.
It's just the fact that once you take in the majority of the top tier games, you add that in, it kind of skews it the way off the T side.
I think you have to consider as well, though, that also you're going to have the opposite in some cases in like other regions. Because I always remember old school like Asian teams, it would be like heavily T-sided because they just sucked at Train. Like I remember watching MVP get like 10 rounds on the T side. I was like, oh damn, they've just smashed it. And then you'd see 10 rounds or 11 rounds or 12 rounds go the other way, and you're like, okay, I get this. You just don't know how to play Train. I think that's the other thing. Like, you can always argue that when it gets down to, like, lesser teams, I guess you could say, a lot of the time, they just suck at playing Train. Like, it's one of those maps that a lot of people just veto.
Oh, yeah, 100%. It makes a lot of sense. Ricky, you need to get this kill, bud. And he's going to find one. Zeph pushing up further. Ricky's going to get the second one as well, looking for more. But Backside will trade. But Estillo and Alistair actually replies back. Still down at 22 points of health. Soju coming in from behind. He's going to find the man, and a minute and 10 seconds on the clock. Tom, we're down to 1v2 as Offnu executes Valiant, and Alistair has opted to swap out his AWP for the AK-47. What is he going to do here?
He's got the potential to win this. He's definitely had a rise back over the last few rounds. The CT side is normally where you're going to see the prominence of your AWP, but the fact that he's already up to 22 kills. He was 14-14, by the way, Blair. He's now 22-14, so this would be his first death in a while. Unfortunately, in terms of his read, he's got this wrong. He's expected them to rotate back. In fact, they actually had to go and retrieve the bomb from the lower bomb site, and because of that, They are now going to go plant in that direction. Oh, no.
Oh,
No
way.
way. No way. This might be the biggest IQ play we've ever seen. No, he doesn't get the final kill. That was so smart in the end from Alistair. I don't know how he was that far into their heads, but damn, that is a shame because he couldn't have put himself in a better position.
Imagine if Alistair just... The moment he saw the C4 planet coming up, imagine he waited a second for the second player out. And he sprayed them both down and won the round because of that. Oh. He got a little lucky, I won't lie, but my god, that's just a gut punch. For Order, well, they've got to 10 rounds, Tom. It was, I think, 9-2 at one point for Chiefs. And Order have managed to kind of grind it back, but that little buffer they had, it's slowly dissipating. Chiefs need 2 more rounds. 1 round to secure overtime, 2 rounds to take it to map number 3. And for Order, well, they need to win 6 in a row to close this out in regulation. It's doable. They have the money, they have the weaponry. It's very doable, but it's...
This was 11-2, by the way.
11-2. Okay, there we go. Even more skewed. But you see what Chiefs are doing? This is something Chiefs Order never did. Like, they use the smokes, and they know exactly what they're going to do with it. They're going to cross into secret. Simple as that. Oh.
Are they going to drop into his crosshair? Oh, I wonder if that's the plan, or just wait to see if he aggresses. It does seem to be a more patient play now that they've actually gained secret control. Alistair seems to have some sort of sixth sense that they are going to be around this angle. If he goes pushing any further, probably going to meet his demise. The rest of the team just trying to hold outside. You can see Gyra as well, just having a few battles as he goes. And this might be the temptation for Alistair to push. You've also got the secondary AWP in for Ricky as well. As said, someone who was a fairly prominent AWPer before he made the move to North America, and then pretty much had to take a bit more of a backseat. Gyra, well, speaking of a backseat, currently sat in towards the spawn, just trying to hold this position. It can be powerful, but Ofnu is there to put him down and start the round off strong for the Chiefs.
I like how they took the sweet time to take him down, but I'm a little surprised none of his teammates came in to help him out as well. And this is done. This is map point. Chiefs. And that's I mean, it's textbook Counter-Strike. You use your smokes towards outer, towards yard area. You make use of it. Either it could be a fake, it could be pushing down secret, or it could just be getting your players in favorable positions. That's what they did. They had control of secret. They didn't come down towards Alice's AWP when it was holding towards the secret stairs because they heard the scope. Instead, they held on. The smoke dissipated. That's fine. Then they slowly snuck up towards Hell, isolated Gyra, who couldn't do anything from CD spawn. And it worked out wonderfully. And the problem here for the side of Order, they weren't able to adapt. The moment they weren't finding any information, they just totaled up in the bomb sites, hoping that something's going to work out. Nice work from Alistair there, holding onto his AWP, ensuring that nothing else happens. But they saved the guns, Tom. But now they need to win 5 in a row. Not just to win, I mean, they can't even win the map right now. They need to take it to overtime.
I think Zeph has got 1 kill in this half. I'm fairly sure he had 18 in the first half. I wonder if Statsman Mitch can confirm that one. Go and do some counting. I know how much he loves numbers. He can go count how many kills he had in the first half. But here we go. Much faster play. Again, something we didn't really see too much from Order, and I like it. There he is. Bring him up, and he comes up
GG.
trumps. 2 kills in already. Gyra at least. Maybe the saving grace, as he has managed to get 1 back, and Vexite is very low on HP. They have to go for this retake, but, oh Blair, a double AWP setup going into a retake is not something that you really want. And with now the clock already ticking and 10 seconds already gone, they have so much left to do, more utility being expended. That's the thing of a fast push. You have so many nades to try and counter them as they look to make their way back in. They have to make a play through the smoke, and they've got lost in it, almost confused. And the time is still ticking away. As you said, this looks like it's done. 10 seconds on the clock to clear out every remaining player, and instead, it's a stronghold from the Chiefs. a fantastic performance on Nuke, a stellar CT side, and even showing that there's depth to their T side as well.